It is possible. But we've got to make hard decisions.
Good morning, fellow Ugandans. I welcome you all on my topic. Today, I've given it a title, Justice is a Travesty in Uganda. It's no longer justice, is what I want to talk about in these few minutes. I'm going to relate my topic to current issues, what is happening in Uganda, and the key issues where judiciary has got to take a center stage. When we look at Uganda, we have judicial system, and it has got all the 7 levels when you talk about judiciary, how it should be. But however, what is happening in Uganda is no longer justice. It's man-made judiciary. Now, even a chicken can decide what is wrong, what is right, but not in the courts of the law. Why should it be like that? It shouldn't be like that. I listened to Judge Owilo, he's talking about himself. These are his words.
Because that is the way to go. If we have the judicial officers, and for me, having been a practicing advocate, a trial judge, an appellate judge,
good morning,
and
everybody. Thank you.
Head of the judiciary of Uganda. If we have the manpower, if we have the judicial personnel, it is possible for the people of Uganda to file their case on the 1st of January and be out of court by the 31st of December of the same year. It is possible. But we've got to make hard decisions. I'm aware.
So, fellow Ugandans, I've got news for you. The cat is out of the bag. Robert Mao has eventually regurgitated. He gave NUP 2 years to bring us down, to go toe-to-toe in Twitter, but eventually he's got to come out, and now he says he's working with the NRM. He started going around consultation. I think he's taking money to buy people to stay in DP, but DP as a party, you got a choice to make. Should you keep Mao? Should you choose somebody? Should you stay under NRM? Good luck to you. Second news, I said to you, the bill which is proposed by Mohammed Nsereko, it will never be, because Facebook, Metaface, has said it will be so difficult to handle people than before. Third news about Zake. Zake happens to be one of my #1 men of the year in Uganda. For what he is, I can't explain too much of Zake. Zake, I pray for you, Zake. I'm waiting you come through. You are good, whether you are a commissioner, whether you are not a commissioner. Your strength, they encourage young people to look to. So don't be disheartened. Position, we are not about position, we are about Uganda. The case ended up last week. It hasn't ended, but by last week, they were required to get information from Twitter and Facebook. They couldn't have that information. But however, so what they have said, they are going back to negotiate in the House. So that is a catch-22. Uganda broke to Facebook, and now they need the information confirmation. They cannot have it, and they cannot present it in the courts of the law, even if they use Facebook, because the answer is Facebook is blocked in Uganda. So Budu, we won the cup. Ole, thanks so much. So today I'm here to talk about judiciary. Judicial system in Uganda is a travesty, whereas justice is derived from people. We have our constitution stipulates very well, which says that justice shall not be delayed. Commiseration for all NUP members, all other people who are in prison for the wrong reasons. We've had people who have been in prison. Our principal, Robert Chagwan, in prison. Treason case is still over his head. We have got Kakwenza, his passport was taken. We have got people like Stella Nyanzi who said if you don't go in prison, your life will never be complete. We have got Honorable Rutamaguzi who was in prison. We have got so many people, and I guess everybody at one time is going to test it to be in a prison. In a what? But however, if you are taken to prison, justice should prevail. Justice should be on your side. In anywhere, when you talk about justice, when you talk about autocracy, justice, judiciary is one measure they use to decide democracy, to decide freedom. So judiciary is so important, but it is occupied by the wrong people in Uganda, that you go to the courts of the law, you don't expect justice. Whoever has got money, they win. We hear cases for Ham Chigundu, their cases are fast tracked, but other cases they are delayed. We have got NUP members in prison 1 year, over 1 year, for nothing, for wearing a red beret, for supporting Robert Chagulanyi, for wanting change, but they have never been brought to justice. And there is no excuse why the courts in Uganda, they bring somebody in court when a day has been set up and they say the case is not there, the papers are not there. That is cheeky. It shouldn't be like that. But you know what, Ugandans? I keep on saying that NUP is going to fight ignorance. We need to fight ignorance. And some of the few issues, some of the few advice I can give on today's topic is like, today, you know, power belongs to the people. Every Ugandan is entitled for justice. There is no way that justice is not served. So everyone is entitled for justice. You have to know that, whether you are rich, whether you are poor. And justice is what equals people, rich or poor, upper class, lower class, is when you know you go to court, you will get justice. This is what the more developed countries achieve. The people, the citizens, they know they go to court, they will get justice. It's just by the word of the law. So let's talk about Uganda. When you look at, we have got issues for land grabbing. We have land grabbing inquiry, which spent billions and billions. Justice, Catherine Bagamerie, he handed over books to Museveni, and it ended up that land grabbing in Uganda was ended up at State House. So that those people at State House, they were the one doing land grabbing. So when you look at the judiciary, what are they doing for land grabbing? We have got land titles, fake land titles, but judiciary should come in and not going far like to courts. We should have local councillors deciding all these issues. When what I know that what worked for Uganda, we had Mayumba Kumi, 10 house chief, we had Mweruka, we had Gombolola, we had Saza. That was the way to deal with any injustice, with any issues. 10 house chief will never go wrong. He knew the people, he knew how to deal. But now what happens? You go to RC, they want you to pay money. You go to court, they want to pay money. Can you believe a place where you are meant to have justice in Uganda, you have to pay money your way? We had the story of this lady who lost her husband, Elizabeth. She talks about the judiciary, the judges, everybody. So we have, for me, I learned a lot from that story. I haven't watched them for a long time. So I learned a lot about the judicial system. They present people. We have got people who come and beat up people, but in court, they bring other people and then they disappear. The case is gone. So land grabbing is a big issue, and it has escalated. It has revamped now. It's back. You saw our president when he was somewhere where the house was being brought up. So land grabbing is a big issue, but what has the judiciary done? Where is what has got the judiciary done? Betty Kamya was in Iran. What did she do? Nantaba was in Iran, and she said Kaihura was making a big job for her to make her fail, because every time she brings down people and then Kaihura, the police will get paid money and that person will be let off. So in Uganda, when we talk about land grabbing, is the nona, is the possession that people we need to have, is the last thing that you want somebody to take away from you. So land grabbing is an issue. So it's a question mark to deal with the judiciary in Uganda. How have they handled that? What have they done? My nephew lost the land because he couldn't afford 5 million, which the judge was asking. So judiciary is a travesty, is no longer justice. Number two, we have got electoral reforms. We had in 2016 after election, we had 6 recommendations of electoral reform. Judiciary should sit down. Judge Owiro Doro, Katurebe, anybody should sit down. And they say in the best interest of Uganda, we need to have the electoral reform, and that never happened. Should we have electoral reforms? Uganda shouldn't have been where we are. Museveni shouldn't have been a president. We have got a lot to do, and our legislative agenda talks about that. Point number 3, reinstate term limits. Term limits, they are there for the reason, because when people, they overstay in power, that is a problem. Even if you've done something good or bad, you need to step down. Other people, they need to come in. Other people, they have got to have new ideas. So judiciary is responsible to initiate this, because we have got minority report and the what, and the over what, general report, that people, they decided that in 2017 they take away the age limit, but we reinstate the term limits. So the judiciary, have they opened that? There's a can of worms that has brought too much conflict. When we talk about judiciary, I'm not going to go case by case, but I'm talking about all these key issues. So when you talk about reinstating of term limits, when is judiciary going to decide that, bring back that case? When are they going to tackle this? Point number 4 is about petition against election. It has become a joke. You saw we had to abort or to withdraw our case for petition of the outcome of election 2021. It has become a habit that all the time you go to court, you don't get justice. NUP had 54.1%. Museveni said NUP rigged, but Museveni didn't go to court. He should be going to court if he thinks we rigged. And no one said no, what we were saying was wrong. But imagine, we lost Kayunga seat for woman MP for RC5, but Museveni said, leave it to me. So judicially, they are letting down Uganda. When a country has got a good justice, democracy, progress. But when a country has got a poor judicial system, it goes down. As we stand for now, the judicial state in Uganda has gone down and down and down. Number 5, we have got bail against suspects. Now there is a proposal that they are going to change the bail, that people, they are not entitled for bail. But when you read our constitution, Article 23, 6A, is it A? You find it says when somebody is a suspect, is entitled to be released on bail. There is no reason we should not take it away. As far as human rights is as freedom, get the details from somebody, get the passport, and tell that person to report, and anybody is entitled for bail. But what we see, Rukutana shoots somebody in NLM primaries. He wasn't arrested until when we made noise, he was arrested, but his bail was done so quick. And as we stand for now, I played you a video clip. I'm not going to play that today. Mr. Kasaja was talking to judiciary that you need to collect 4 trillion. So when you look at when NUP emerged, even the court, the judiciary has changed. Now they want cash bail, they want millions, they want a lot of money. They have taken, is it 4 million for Sewanyana, 4 million for Segrinya? they have never been released. So we can see, so what is judiciary doing about this? Judiciary should step in. It shouldn't be like that. But NUP, the emergency now is like, give us money, give us money, give us money. They are trying to make it impossible for people to challenge Museveni. So we are entitled to challenge the outcome of the judicial decision. We are meant to do that. And then in number 6 is about backlog. I have Judge Owiro complaining about backlog, but now we have lots of backlog that he doesn't care about. I don't understand why.
We must do it now. I've just said, Your Excellency, that in this country, if your case takes 2 years, more than 2, if a case takes in court more than 2 years, then the Chief Justice, the Deputy Chief Justice, the Principal Judge, and the Chief Registrar must be concerned. Why has it taken more than 2 years? 2 years a case takes. One of your investors, Your Excellency, comes, acquires land in Mukono. But no, the land you bought is not for the other person, it's mine. Wait for 2 years. I want to thank you.
So that was our Chief Justice, Winnie Odoro, complaining about the backlog, that the case takes over 2 years. Why would it take? And then somebody takes the land. We have got so many issues. We have got foreigners into land grabbing. They are taken to court. People, they don't win. We have so much which is going on. Backlog is killing. Why are we having NUP in the course of the law that their cases against them hasn't been corrected? That person should be released. The police can come and pick them up. But why are we having them in a prison for now? So we have this backlog. You are putting people more into prison, but you are not letting people on bail. So we are making a mistake, congesting the prison. That is going to bring skin disease, a lot of diseases. Where is the money? Where is the resources? So we are just messing ourselves down. Judiciary should know this. Number 7, judiciary in Uganda has become a political weapon. No doubt about that. You can see Justice Owiro when he said he's not going to allow it to happen. Justice Owino is the wrong person to be the Chief Justice, because he's much closer to NRM. He has been NRM minister. He has been NRM MP for Agogo. He was the attorney. He was the respondent from 7 in 2016 petition. And then he was brought in Mbale, age limit removal appeal, and that is when he said he will not allow things to happen. He referred to to Chiwanuka. So he's not in the right position. He's NRM through and through. So he's not meant to be the Chief Justice. You saw how he did on petition. He stole the file of Judge Esther, who was against their decision. You saw how he was telling Robert Chagulanyi, present your case in 1 day, and then that is, you cannot amend it. But then justice, when you talk about Mama Mbabazi was given to change as much as he wanted it, and it was given over a week. So how can you give somebody a petition for 1 day to present? No, and what is in the judiciary stipulated that in a petition somebody should be allowed to add, just to edit it, to update, to put in anything new. But this is Justice Orilo who stood there and said no. He was given 4 billion for that petition. The case was withdrawn. We never had that 4 billion being returned. They had a tent which cost is 50 million, and they said it was blown by the wind. That money is gone. But then after 2 months, they were asking another 2 billion From what we know, Justice Winodolo has got a son and grandchildren in UK, and the son called Anthony is a lawyer in UK. He's the one who collected money, that money for judiciary. He went to Uganda and collected that money. And as far as I'm aware, he was looking for a house to buy in UK. So this is a judge who says he doesn't want his grandchildren to live in a bad Uganda, but his grandchildren, they are in Uganda. So it has been used as a political weapon. You find somebody who is much affiliated to NRM is the Chief Justice, and he doesn't stand for justice. He's just used as a political weapon, because as we can see that now. Another point that I want to come to, now we can see civilians, they are being tried in army court. NUP went and appealed and the case was dismissed. So how can we have a Chief Justice that who knows very well that civilians should be tried in civil courts and the army should be tried? But now it is a mixture that civilian, they are being tried in army court. This is what I'm saying, political weapon. Our judiciary is a travesty. They are using it as a political weapon. It shouldn't be like that. And then when you talk about justice, how are we going to unite East Africa when our judiciary is like that? This is something that somebody like Marema is talked about. So point number 9, we have got the change of our constitution is going to change. Judiciary is quiet, is not saying anything. What they are saying that what the consultation which is going on, that they are going to now to amend our constitution, that the MPs, whoever has got many MPs, will be the one responsible to choose our president. That is something similar to UK Parliament. But judiciary should say something about this, because in injustice it says not because you have got majority, you do what you want. You do things in the national interest. Now what is the timing? Why would they do that? What is the timing? We go to election. We don't get justice. They are not free and fair. We come for petition. Petition is being watered down. So where are we going? What is the role that judiciary should be playing to stop this? It is keeping quiet. Of all institutions who should come up and step up and say, no, what you have to know, what we have to know. Attorney General was meant to present this, but it was his deputy. Attorney General was in Uganda. Why do you think that happened? Why didn't the Attorney General, Chiriowa Godfrey, come and present that proposal, the bill? So we have got lots of things which are going on, but I'm expecting judiciary to come in. But the way our judiciary is not coming in. They are being quiet. And when you go to court, you don't get justice. We know what is happening now. Then we have number 10, we have got Attorney General and Chief Justice. When we look at Attorney General, Chiriowa is NRM through and through. He has been the lawyer from 7 for a long time. What are we going to expect when you talk about Attorney General, when you talk about the law of the country? Then Chief Justice, I've told you his CV, he's NRM through and through, but they have failed to separate their professionalism to their political affiliation. I don't object, they can be NRM, but when they step in the chair to give justice, do they give justice based on the law, or do they give justice based on individual Museveni instruction? That is the sticking point, which is bad and bad. So 11, we had report from Demo Day Uganda 2021 by Swedish, which says autocracy has declined. In 2020, it came from 28 to 68. These are bad news. that the decline is gone, autocracy, the democracy is gone, and the Uganda particularly was hit very hard. So we have the backlog coming in, but do we have the system to deal with the backlog? Have they attempted to handle the backlog? The answer is no, because now it looks more to be a political weapon, not justice for the people. We need justice because they say justice is derived from people. Fellow Ugandans, civil education, it is one by one. You don't need to go to school. What you have to know, you are entitled for justice. We saw the difference. A woman in 2020, 11-year-old son was killed on 18th and 19th November. He went to the parliament. He was stopped by police. Now we saw the mother of Segrinya comes around and they was given 5 million. When we talk about justice, justice should not be bought. We should not buy off people to keep quiet. I saw a video, I think Fred Rumbia said this envelope, they mean don't talk. So we are not going to be bold to stop talking. We need to talk. Unfortunately, our justice is not what it is. But NUP has promised to restore the term limits. NUP, it looks on the legislative agenda to tackle the electoral reform. Maybe they don't know what to do. That is, I think, one of the problems. NUP will appoint people on merit. You don't need to be that you are supporting NUP to be a judge anywhere else. You should not even be affiliated. Myself, I've got experiences of being in a court so many times as a victim, as a respondent, as anybody. I've been in court, I've worked there, I've done my what is it called? I've done it. So I know I'm more familiar with the court and I'm more familiar with the process. I'm more familiar with the judges, what they do, what you say. I've worked as what? So I'm more familiar. So when you go to court, what you expect is justice. But in Uganda, that is no longer the case. Commiseration for all NUP people, members who are traumatized for that time you spent into prison. Commiseration for all those people, NUP, who are still in prison because justice is not coming. But in Uganda, we need justice. And the judiciary should be one place that you expect to get justice. But unfortunately, it is a travesty. They are doing something so different. It's so different and they don't care, and this nothing. What is happening now in Uganda, all the institutions, they are falling down, and all those people working in those institutions, they have lost the empathy. They no longer care. They are all compromised. A judge, we had Judge Sekana, who decided NUP was legally registered a political party. And that is one. We have had a few. It doesn't mean that if you have had a few, you don't complain. No, that is the difference that people we need to understand. You disagree to agree. All the time you need justice. You don't go that they have given you a chicken wing that you are not going to ask for a thigh. No, if they've given you a chicken wing, you keep on demanding. We have to go to court. We know the weakness. We know the problem. We know how difficult. We know judiciary is now a political weapon, wherever, but we have to keep on going there. And hey, Omusango de Guvunda, whatever you report is going to be there and it will be dealt with at one time. So when we talk about justice, we have got people who have got like compensation. All these people have been beaten. Bobby Wine was stopped to have Chalenga. He was caught this, he claimed the 300 million loss. He will be paid. Everybody will be paid on melt. But those people who have failed to carry out justice will have to give us accountability. They like it or not. They don't want to hear that. You like it or not. We have got people like this man who was the EC chairman, Badiru Chigundu. what he did, and he said, oh, this time I'm going to read the right results. These people, they are going to give us justice. Look at Tamale Mirundi. Tamale Mirundi has got instruments for bagging up calls. Bagging, I'm talking about intercepting calls. You will listen whoever calls in Uganda, wherever. He came and gave us a what time, long time ago, about this human trafficking organ. And he hasn't. So those people, Tamale Mirundi, is going to give us accountable. You had the government equipment, you had them. What did you do when you had them? You were there on TV, you were holding people for ransom to pay you off. You knew. So where we are going to Uganda when NUP comes in power, that if you know somebody has gone wrong and you haven't reported, you are as bad as that person. So Tamale Mirundi has got gadgets which are meant for the Uganda government, bagging calls, monitoring, doing what he hasn't reported. So he's as bad as anybody, because so many people, they have lost the organs. What he wants, give me money, give me money, give me 500 million, give me 500 million. You are going to be done. So when we talk about justice, everybody is entitled, everybody should have justice. Justice is derived from people, they like it or not. People, they are entitled for bail. When they talk about that MPs are going to choose the president, let us have a consultation. Let us have term limits reinstated. Let us see people with the land grabbing having justice. Let us see the backlog cleared. What are the judges doing? Why, Ugandans, why would you give a bribe? If you know you have the truth, why would you give bribe? Don't give in bribe if you know you stand by the truth. Eventually, common sense will prevail. The truth will stand not today, but it will stand in future. Time is coming soon. So I thank very much Choto Reloaded. I thank very much Echoto International. I thank very much JB Mwongi for hosting me. I thank everybody who has been here watching me. I thank you very much for all your comments. I welcome you to come and see me. Hello, Pato Uganda, omuntu wawansi Asimwe, Wile Alifati, Yoelia Mustafa. Oh, thank you, Ronald. You know, some people, they think they are too big to worry. Good morning, Heleni, respected madam. Good morning, Heleni Namakula omwana we. Oh, ekigambo kige. Ne Namakula manyi kyeweddira. Nkimanyi ddala. Abantu mwenna, team, thank you. So thank you. That was my day, 8th of March. We can go on. On Thursday, I'm going to be on Demikiza. There is a topic I want to handle. I don't think it's allowed on this platform because I'm going to use 7-minute song to analyze those words. It was sung a long time ago, but if you listen to that song, it relates for today. Have a nice day. Thank you for waking up for me. Enjoy your day, enjoy your work, enjoy your sleep, everything. Salute people, power, our power, NUP everywhere, everywhere, NUP.